Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Krishno Rakshatano Jagatraya Guruhu Krishnam Namasyamyaham Prashne Namarasatravo Vinihataha Krishnaya Tasmai Namaha. Krishna Deva Samuthitam Jagadidam Krishnasya Dasosmyaham Krishne Tisthati Vishwametadakhilam He Krishna Samrakshamam. Jai Srimanarayana. With blessings of Sri Chinna Jeeyar Swamiji, we are continuing Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18. We finished sloka 22. We'll start with sloka 23 today. Before we start, I just wanted a small quiz. Okay. So, is eating sattvic food sattvic? A person is eating sattvic food.
Not essentially.
Okay.
So having the tendency is important. The liking, essence, what for a person essentially has a liking for, by nature, he or she likes the Rajasic food. But still they are eating sattvic food doesn't mean that they are sattvic. And the vice versa. Somebody by circumstances may be eating Rajasic food, but their inclination is towards sattvic food, then they are actually sattvic.
Okay.
Because Bhagavan said, it is their ishtam. It is their tendency, not essentially. I mean, today I may be eating Rajasic food, but by my inclinations, vasanas, I really like sattvic food. Then I am sattvic.
Okay.
That's what my understanding.
What is the question? Sorry, what is the question? I missed that.
So, eating sattvic food, or for example, teaching Bhagavad Gita, or listening to Bhagavad Gita, or you are chanting Bhagavad Gita, is that sattvic?
It's a degree of sattva. It's not always essential, but unless there's some level of sattva is there, people won't even turn to this direction.
Okay.
But one may be practicing this, but complete purification of mind takes a long time. It's one of the...
Okay, keep that in mind. I'm not going to say yes or no. Okay, and we need to authentically quote what is there in Bhagavad Gita and what Lord Krishna told, right? Another question is, a person is hurting someone. Is that Rajasic?
No.
Or Tamasic?
Depends on,
yeah, exactly.
What is the intent behind that?
For example, a doctor may be doing operation. So still, it's
or
not considered as
cop meeting someone, right? Cop kind of a thing. It's a duty, right? Sometimes they need to do that.
Okay.
Right? So,
okay.
Somebody by sattvic nature.
Sorry, go ahead.
Is sleeping tamasic?
No. Again, same thing, right? Sleeping in the limit is fine. And you have to sleep, right? Because I think in one of the chapters, Paramatma himself said, right? You need to get all those things, right? Food, you need to, right? I mean, yeah. Anything too much, not sleeping for 3 days, 4 days, doing something is not good either.
Okay. That's a generic answer, but we want a specific, authentic, direct answer.
I mean, for example, anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat. So therefore, the speech that we are doing should not only be satyam, but it should be anudvegakaram. So,
so that's a separate, little bit separate topic. We need to connect the two, but yeah. That is, what's the work that should be done, what's the work that should not be done category. So is cooking food Rajasic, Sattvic, Rajasic or Tamasic?
Depends on the attitude with which it is cooked.
Okay, what attitude?
For example, Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi, Brahmagno Brahmanahutam, Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam. So that we chant while eating, but you have to have that bhavana all the time, that Annam Parabrahma Swarupam antaru kada manaadu.
Okay. Yeah. So the reason I'm asking these questions is, so for any work, there are three components. We learned the first component in the last session. The first component is the knowledge behind the work, the knowledge with which we are performing the work.
Okay, the 18th chapter context. Yeah.
Right. In the 18th chapter, in the previous three slokas, we learned about the classification of the knowledge. Okay. Jnanam. Sattvic Jnanam, Rajasic Jnanam, Tamasic Jnanam. We'll not go into the details because it's already described earlier. And the second category already mentioned, Lord Krishna mentioned, is that it is the work itself. So the work is also categorized as Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic.
Karma.
Everything that we do is a work, right? I mean, I talked about eating, cooking, sleeping, doing homework, office work, or studying for tests. I mean, anything that you do is a work. Morning to evening is including sleeping. So including breathing, right? Is work, right? We are doing some work. So the work is also categorized Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. And how do you categorize them as Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic is what Lord Krishna is going to explain. And then the person. So the person is doing the work. So person has the knowledge, person is doing some work. So now the person, the worker, is also categorized as Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. So a teacher, a doctor, a soldier, or a cook, or a lawyer, or any profession, the worker, you can categorize them as Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. So there is nothing like a Sattvic work definition by itself. Sattvic worker, right? Just because one is doing a work that appears to be, for example, sleeping appears to be tamasic, because by definition, tamasic is sleepiness and laziness, right? So, anyone who is sleeping is tamasic. So, are we tamasic?
No.
So that question comes. Or somebody is a police officer or a soldier. For example, Arjuna. Arjuna is supposed to participate in the Kurukshetra war. And is his participation going to be Rajasic, categorized as Sattvic, Rajasic, or Tamasic? Right? So it appears to us that, it is probably Rajasic. It appears to us that it is probably against the principles that Lord Krishna said, ahimsa should be the, our approach, right? Ahimsa is prohibited, hurting others is prohibited, or asura quality, ahimsa is daivi quality. So now it appears like Arjuna is committing some sin, is a asuri, I mean, is a demonic nature, because he has to participate, or anyone who is supposed to participate in that war is going to be either Rajasic or Tamasic or demonic in nature. It's not. So even though Arjuna is participating in a war, he can be Sattvic. Even though somebody appears to be doing Sattvic work, could be Rajasic or Tamasic. Right? Now, this 18th chapter, these few slokas, that make it absolutely clear to us. It should not be any question about, applying our own knowledge, like our own thinking, or maybe some thinking behind it, or opinion behind it, or bhava. I mean, yeah, that is loosely the case, but we should be able to clearly categorize any knowledge, any work, or any worker as Sattvic, Rajasic, or Tamasic, and Lord Krishna asked Arjuna to be Sattvic. Okay, so he said, be Sattvic, right? I don't remember the sloka number, but he says that. So how can he be Sattvic? Now we will know in the next few slokas. Okay, so we'll start.
In the 19th sloka, these three are given, and Gnanam, Karma, cha, Karta, cha.
Yeah.
So, the next.
Those are the three components of any work. Right? Okay. Sloka 23. Please stand. Niyatam sangarahitam.
Niyatam sangarahitam.
Aragadveshatah krutam.
Aragadveshatah kritam.
Aphala prepsuna karma.
Aphala prepsuna karma.
Etat sattvicamuchyate.
Yattat sattvicamuchyate.
Let's stand together.
Niyatam sangarahitam. Aragadveshatah kritam.
Apala
Aphala prepsuna karma. Yattat sattvicamuchyate.
Very simple. Again, whatever we learned so far, okay, combining all that, put it into a proper direct answer format here, right? You don't have to really search through the previous 17 chapters to understand, oh, is it Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic, or what should I do? Is it correct thing for me to do, right? So Lord Krishna is very clearly explaining to us, yat karma krutam, work which is performed, okay, niyatam, that is duty, ordained, as ordained, as duty, sangarahitam, without attachment. Attachment to the work or thinking that I am doing the work. Okay. Aragadveshataha, ragadvesha, attraction and hatred. Aragadvesha is without attraction and hatred. Aragadveshataha, as you do the work without attraction or hatred, either towards the work or towards the results, right? Aphala prepsuna, phala is fruit or results. Aphala is aphala prepsuna, not having desire towards the results. Okay, that's sattvikam uchyate. That work is called sattvic. So any work that is performed as duty without attachment, without attraction or hatred towards the work or the results, and it is done by the one who does not desire for the fruits of the or results of the work. That work is sattvic. Okay. So if I'm doing the work as my duty without attachment to, without thinking that I am doing the work, without thinking that I am, it is my work I'm doing, without having any attraction or hatred towards the results, to the work or the results, and also without having expectations on the results, without having the desire for the fruits of the results, fruits or results of the work. Okay, so that work is called sattvic. Okay,
niyatam means prescribed in scriptures, or this is duty?
Yeah, it's a duty. So it's a good question. So it is performed as duty. That work is performed as duty. What is a duty? Nitya and Naimitika karmas. Okay. Nitya and Naimitika karmas that are appropriate for one's role in the society and stage of life, right? As a student, what is appropriate is studying, right? As a grihastha, what is appropriate is working to earn money to support the family. As a vanaprastha or sannyasa, it is focusing on the scriptures and other activities, right? So that is stage of life. Now we also have duties towards our towards the society. Okay, so based on whatever is duty towards the society, like I'm employed as a doctor or a soldier or a cop or a teacher or whatever, right? There are certain duties that I need to perform. Okay, so those are the prescribed duties. So performing our nitya and naimitika karmas, and our prescribed duty, nitya duty is also like in taking care of our body. That's the first thing. Early morning when we wake up, that's what we do. At the end of the day, we go to sleep. That's also taking care of the body, and we eat through few times a day. We eat and drink, right? Do exercise. All that is taking care of the body. That's also our duty, prescribed duty. Okay, so we have duty towards ourselves, we have duty towards our family, we have duties towards our society. We have duties based on our age. Okay, so that also, is a prescribed duty. And then one who is not desiring for fruits, the work done by one who is not desiring for the results. Basically, what does that mean?
Karma yoga, right?
Karma yoga, right? Doing nishkama karma. Basically, I'm not motivated by the results. Okay, I'm doing only because I want that result. So that result is motivating me. Then what happens is it is not my duty. It is basically I'm just doing it for the sake of the result, a particular result to happen. The downside of that is if the result don't happen, then we'll be disappointed because the only purpose of doing the work is the result, a particular result, right? So we'll lose our mental balance. So having expectations on the results means we are doing the work only because we are expecting that work. We know that if I'm doing work, some result will happen, and there is something good or something bad, a positive and negative result, or pass or fail result. But that is not the reason, like only because I'm going to become a particular, let's say I'm taking a test or I'm running for an office. Obviously, if I'm the only reason why I'm doing it is because I'm going to become a president, and if I don't become a president, I will be disappointed. But if I'm doing that, campaigning is my duty, then it doesn't matter what the result is. Okay, even though I know that obviously the positive result is getting elected, right? So what is the motivation then? The motivation is I need to do this because it's my duty. The motivation is not the result. Okay, the motivation is not that this is my work. Okay, that is also another thing. So we should not be thinking this is my work, I'm doing it. I like this work, that's why I'm doing it. You can like it. That's nobody's saying that you should not like the work. So but the liking is not because of I enjoy it, right? It is because it is my duty. and it's a service that I'm doing to Paramatma. So that's why I enjoy it, not because it gives me pleasure, right? So again, it's very difficult concept, hard to practice. But so whatever service, if I'm doing it as service, it really doesn't matter whether I'm having certain hardships, I will still be happy. There's several examples, right? If we are doing it as service to people who we like, we don't think, oh, I'm having so much hardship, I don't like it, right? We always like to serve those whom we love. So it is Paramatma that we love. So we do it as a service to God. Then, no matter what kind of work it is, again, it should be a duty assigned to us according to scriptures. But whatever is the duty, I will still like it, in spite of the hardships I may have to go through, or in spite of the result that I may get, right? Even though I do not consider it as my work, I'm doing it, I still like it, right? Even though something, typically when somebody assigns us work, we don't like it. It's not my work. Why am I doing it? Right? That is the approach. But if everything that we do is actually assigned to us by Paramatma, that is how we need to consider. Okay, it is not my work that I experience pleasure in doing it. That's why I'm doing it. Right. So that should not be the case. So then that work becomes sattvic work. So
also, I am doing it is also not right, Karan. And I am doing it, even though it's with any karma, right? I can't even think like I am doing it, right? I mean, then the ego, right?
yeah. So it is not like I am the one doing it. It should be like I'm an instrument in the hands of God who is giving me energy to do it. See, I am still doing it, but it is not that I am doing it as an agent of action. The agent of action is either we consider the three gunas, or the Paramatma who supports the three gunas and who is supporting us, right? So we learned earlier, either you can assign the agent of the work to the nature or to Paramatma, but don't assign it to yourself, which is Atma. The nature that includes body. So that is the agent of the work. I'm not I. That is Atma. So Atma doesn't have any need for a particular type of work, right? It really doesn't matter what kind of work we do. At the end of the day, Atma is not going to carry any of that, isn't it? Unfortunately, we think I'm this body, and somehow I get pleasure in doing a certain type of work. So then we get attached to that work, and then we think this is my work I'm doing for my own enjoyment, forgetting that I'm actually Atma, and Atma doesn't need it. Atma does not carry any of the results that we get. The pleasure that we get out of it is not going to carry at all. It is going to carry the side effects of those. The side effect is the karmic bondage. So all that we are going to acquire is karmic bondage, not the pleasures. Pleasures are temporary for the body and they will vanish. Okay, karmic bondage is permanent, will carry with us. Unfortunately, we don't really recognize that. Okay, so the work that is done as duty without attachment, without attraction or hatred, and without desire for the fruits is called sattvic. Okay. Next sloka. Sloka 24. I'll share my screen. Obviously, the next loka is Rajasic work. Please chant. Yattu kamepsuna karma
Yattu kamepsuna karma
sahankarena va punaha
sahankarena va
पुनः
punaha
kriyate bahulayasam
kriyate
बहुलायासं
bahulayasam
tadrajasamudahrutam.
tadrajasamudahrutam
राजसमुदाहृतं
Let's chant together.
यत्तु
Yattu
कामे
kamepsuna
कर्म
karma sahankarena va punaha
क्रियते
kriyate
बहुलायासं
bahulayasam
तद्राजसमुद्धृतं
Okay. So, two in contrast, however, compared to the previous loka. Yat kamepsuna punaha. Okay. That work, yet, right? That work which is done by one who desires for the fruits. Okay. Sahankarena is by one who is thinking, I am doer. Bahulayasam is with a great deal of exertion. Ayasam, bahulayasam. It's a great deal of exertion. Karma kriyate karma. So if one is doing that work, tat rajasam udahrutam. That work is called rajasic. Okay. So rajasic work is, it is performed by one who is desiring for the fruits. Okay. Kamepsuna, one who desires for the fruits. Okay. And how do they perform? Means like desiring for the fruits means their motivation is only the fruits or results of those actions. What are the results that we are talking about here? The motivation?
Materialistic results, some promotion, something.
Perfect. Materialistic. Materialistic, either in this life or after life, right? I get, more material possessions or enjoyments in this life, or I will get Swarga. I'll have enjoyment after this, leaving this body. That's also Rajasic work. Okay. So thinking that I need to get Swarga, go to heaven, is actually Rajasic, not Sattvic. And the work that is performed, thinking that I am the doer of the work, I am the agent, I am the doer of that action, and thinking that doing that work with great deal of exertion. That is, this is my work, I'm doing it, and I need to work so hard, I have to do it, I need to get the result that I want. Right? Typically, this is how we kind of do the works. We are looking for either a particular result, we are motivated by that result, so we want to do that work. And we think, I'm doing the work, I need to get the result. Okay? And I am the only one doing the work. We don't consider the Paramatma who is supporting us or the entire society and environment, nature, and everything that is supporting us, we don't even bother, right? Okay, so we don't bother to even worship at all. I'm doing hard work. Why should I pray to God, right? Praying to God, is He going to give me the result? No, I need to do the work. So if I'm doing the work, I'm getting the result. Why should I pray to God or any other devatas, right? So I am doing the work, and I need to work hard to get the result. My work alone will give me the results. That is thinking and like the inner meaning of with great deal of exertion, right? So thinking I alone can do this work and my effort alone will produce the result. Okay, so that is Rajasic work. Any work we do, doesn't matter what kind of work it is, including taking care of our body, including doing you know, our daily chores like cooking, eating, sleeping, or including our office work, whatever may be the type of office work we are doing. Okay, if you are doing that work with these characteristics, then that work becomes Rajasic. So there is a great deal of exertion. There's an example. So Sri Swamiji gave this example in different contexts. But so basically, let's say there is a huge truck with lots of bags of with 100 kgs in each bag, right? Like maybe rice bags in the truck. Okay, and they need to move the bags from the truck to the storage. Okay, so housefly, a small housefly sees that and said, "Oh, I need to, you know, do this work. If I need to lift the bag from the truck and then put it in the storage place." Okay, so and it falls on the bag, rice bag, and it starts lifting. I'm doing it, and suddenly the bag starts. It lifts, right? And then the bag, the fly will think, "Oh my God, I'm doing the work and I'm getting the result. I'm getting the result." And then even works harder. Oh, this the storage area is there, maybe 20 feet away, and then it really pulls the bag, and then finally goes and places the bag in the storage area. Then again comes back and falls on another bag of rice, and then starts moving the bag. The fly, unfortunately, is thinking that the bag is being lifted by its efforts, whereas actually a person is actually lifting the bag, and the housefly is just holding the bag and trying to pull it, but it really doesn't, move an inch at all, right? So the person is the one who is actually lifting and placing the bag in the storage area, but unfortunately, that fly is always thinking that I am the one doing the work, I'm getting the result. And then the entire rice bag should belong to me because I'm doing the work, right? So that is our situation, right? When whatever we try to do, we think we are doing the work. This is my work, and the result belongs to me. Whereas there is somebody who is so powerful that is making everything happen for us. Okay. So that is with a great deal of exertion doing the work. So that work is Rajasic. Okay. Now moving on to the next sloka, Tamasic. Tamasic work. Please chant. Anubandham kshayam himsam
Anubandham kshayam himsa
anapekshya cha paurusham
anapekshya cha paurusham
mohadarabhyate karma
Mohadarabhyate
mohadarabhyate
karma
yattat tamasamuchyate.
yattattamasamuchyate
Yattattamasamuchyate
Let's chant together.
Anubandham kshayam himsa
Anapekshya
anapekshya
cha
paurusham
paurusham
mohadarabhyate
Mohadarabhyate
karma
karma
yattattamasamuchyate.
Yattattamasamuchyate.
Okay. So what is tamasic work? Tat tamasamuchyate. That work is said to be tamasic. What is that? Yat karma mohat arabhyate. That work which is started with delusion. Mohat, due to delusion. Arabhyate, that started. Okay. Due to ignorance. What is the ignorance?
I am doing the work.
Yeah. Knowing, without knowing who is actually doing the work. Yeah. Thinking I am body, right? So I'm thinking I'm body, and I'm body, and I started doing the work without having any knowledge of the three realities. Anubandham is the consequences that naturally follow the work. Okay, pain or sorrow that follows. The consequences of doing the work. Without anapeksha is without considering, without regarding. Anapeksha is without regarding what? Without considering the four actually. Lord Krishna gave four. Without considering anubandham, the consequences of the work. Okay. Kshayam, now without considering the loss due to performing of the work. Himsam, without considering the injury or hurt that causes to the performer. And Paurisham, without considering one's ability, one's competence. That work is tat tamasa uchyate. That work is said to be tamasic. So what are the characteristics of work done that is with delusion, with ignorance about who is the doer of the work? The doer of the work is Paramatma. Okay, the one who is actually giving us energy, who is supporting everything is Paramatma only. He's supporting Atma, he's supporting nature. So he's the real doer of the work. And the agent of the work, like why do I need to do the work is because I'm under the influence of the three gunas, so I'm doing the work, right? Attributing, so that ignorance is attributing the doership to oneself instead of Paramatma. Okay. And what is another delusion? Another delusion is thinking something is my duty, even though it is not. Because I don't have a concept of scriptures, I don't have concept of reality, three realities. So whatever comes to my mind, I just think and I'll say, okay, this is my duty, right? So I don't have any idea what should be done, what should not be done. Okay, so in fact, it will come later. I'll be thinking opposite. So What is not my duty, I'll think is my duty. What is my duty, I'll not do. And what is not my duty, I'll think it's my duty. So that as a worker, that will come later. But the work that is done with the delusion. Okay. Now the second one is without thinking about consequences of that work that naturally follow. Okay. So here the consequences, so let us say I'm Sattvic. I am doing the work irrespective of the results of the work, whether I may get positive result or negative result. I mean, I could be successful, I could have failure. That is still Sattvic, right? But Tamasic is without thinking of the consequences at all. Right? So somebody is jumping from an airplane. Again, I'm trying to come up with some examples. Right? So trying to do this daredevil acts, right? So, why are you doing that? Do you have any duty to do it? Okay, you're not thinking of the consequences. See, if it is your duty, do it irrespective of the result. You may get a positive result, you may get a negative result or neutral result. You may not get what is the ideal result that anybody knows, right? Taking a test, you get an A grade. Doing the job, you get a promotion. People know it. You may or may not get a promotion. You may or may not get an A grade. But certain things like we're not thinking of the consequences of doing it and going ahead and doing it. That kind of work is tamasic. Okay, and the materialistic loss that we may get, injury or suffering that will happen to the performer. Okay. Any examples for those? Without considering, without regarding, like what is the injury that may happen?
People indulging in drugs and all that stuff.
Perfect. Very good. Yes. Yeah. Don't know why. I mean, they did not think of the consequences of taking such action. People committing horrible acts. They don't know. Taking drugs is a perfect example as well, or spoiling relationships. Any such thing is not thinking of the consequences. That is tamasic. Okay, and doing the work without considering one's own abilities to perform the work. What could be some examples?
In the context of Gita, probably we can say Duryodhana waging the war, and could be.
Okay.
He underestimated or he overestimated his abilities, relying on Karna and others.
Yeah, he did not think of the consequences.
Consequences.
Yeah, one good example. Like, I mean, for him, he was expecting he's going to win, but he didn't care, right? His hatred was so much. He just has to do it, right? He didn't think of the consequences, whereas Arjuna was thinking of the consequences. If you see the first chapter, he was saying, oh, this is what is going to happen. The entire society will be corrupted, all that. I see in the chat that Bharat mentioned the deleting production environment. Yeah, it's a contemporary example. Without thinking of the consequences, you just do the work. right? That is tamasic. Okay, so that is a work. Now we'll move on to the worker. These are very interesting, simple but directly applicable principles.
Yeah, amazing, amazing slokas.
Okay, please chant. Mukta sango naham vadi.
Mukta sango naham vadi.
Dhrutyutsaha samanvitaha.
Dhrutyutsaha samanvitaha.
Siddhya siddhyor nirvikaraha.
Siddhya siddhyor nirvikara.
Karta satvika uchyate.
Karta satvika uchyate.
Let's chant together.
Mukta sango naham vadi. Dhrityutsaha samanvitaha. Siddhya siddhyor nirvikaraha. Karta satvika uchyate.
Now, talking about karta, the third category or third component of any work. Is the person actually doing the work, or the karta. So, karta satvikaha uchyate. That worker is said to be sattvic. Who? Mukta sangaha. One who is free from attachment to the work or the results. Anaham vadi. Aham is I. I am doing it, right? I am the doer. Na aham vadi, anaham vadi. One who is free from thinking, I am the doer. Okay? I did it. I did it. I got the result. Never think that. I mean, of course, when we are saying, putting in our resume, we don't put that God did it, right? I didn't do anything. It's all God. No. When we are thinking internally, we don't think I did it. It's Paramatma who is the real doer. I'm just an instrument. Okay? Dhruti utsaha samanvitaha. Dhruti is firm resolve. Utsaha is enthusiasm. Okay? Samanvitaha is one who is endowed, one who is having these two characteristics. The Dhriti is firm resolve, courage, fortitude, perseverance, able to bear all consequences, right? Whatever may be the consequence, able to bear it. Dhriti, perseverance. And Utsaha is enthusiasm towards the work. So we are talking about the work, not the results. Lord Krishna didn't say the result is Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. Not about that. The work. The work is, no, I have the real zeal, enthusiasm, interest in the work itself. Siddhi, asiddhi. So siddhya siddhyoha nirvikaraha. One who is unmoved or unchanged, nirvikaraha. Vikara is changing, right? Nirvikara is not changing, not getting disturbed, right? Siddhi asiddhi, success or failure. So one who is not getting disturbed by success or failure, that worker is called Sattvic. Okay? So what are the things? One who is free from attachment towards the work or the results. One who is not thinking that I am the doer. One who is having firm resolve. I need to do this work not because I need to get the result, a particular result. I mean, not because I'm motivated by the result, right? I need to do this because this is my duty. I need to do it. Doesn't matter about the results. I'm not motivated by the results. I have a strong resolve. Once I accept it, I have to do it. And not because why somebody gave me this work again, right? I full interest, right? Whatever needs to be done will be done. No stones, no, unturned, right? That's what they say. I will try everything possible in my, whatever is feasible for me, I'll do it. Okay. It's perfect or 100% effort. And unmoved by the results, not disturbed by the success or failure. That worker is called Sattvic. Work could be anything, right? But if we are practicing these principles while working, I become Sattvic. If we are not practicing this, then we become either Rajasic or Tamasic. We will see that. Okay, so this is a checklist for us. Am I attached? Am I thinking I'm the doer? Okay, so basically, am I doing it as Karma Yoga? Then I'm Sattvic, right? Phala Sangha Kartrutva Tyaga. If I'm doing it, I'm Sattvic. Do I have interest in doing it? I'm considering this as my duty. Okay, and I have firm resolve to do it. Right? Then I become Sattvic, and whatever may happen, the result, the materialistic result that I get, I'm not moved by it. I'm not changed because of it. I don't think, oh, why did I do this work so far? Right? That will never. So then I have, I'm Sattvic.
You need
Okay.
Jnanam also to do the work, I mean, Jnanam, you need to have.
Yeah, so the Jnanam part is already discussed in the previous 3 slokas. Before, in the last session, last 3 slokas are Jnanam.
Fine with that, right? Even though you have firm resolve, but if I don't have the knowledge, then I should not do, even though it's Sattvic kind of a thing, right? I mean,
so the knowledge that you're talking about is the knowledge to do the work.
we do the work,
right?
Yeah.
So that is competence, right? So if I don't have the competence, the previous sloka, then I am tamasic. If I don't have the competence, the ability, knowledge to do the work, okay, and I still try to do it, then I am tamasic. So it is not like, let's take the example, right? I want to become a priest. Okay. Is priesthood Sattvic, Rajasic, or Tamasic?
Priest is, I mean, from this thing, as long as priest has the knowledge, right? It's that.
I mean, in general,
it's Sattvic.
You consider Sattvic, right?
Yeah.
Perfect example of a Sattvic. I mean, like you are directly working, you're directly doing that service to God as priest. What can be more Sattvic than that?
Right.
But if I don't have the ability, if I don't have the skills to do it, and I think I should get, why you're stopping me from doing it? I need to do it, right? You are discriminating me from doing it. Okay. And I say, I want to do it. That's Sattvic work. I have to do it. It'll give me punyam. It'll give me, maybe moksham as well. So let me do it. That is tamasic. If you don't know what to do properly, then try to do it. It becomes tamasic work. So I don't have the abilities. I don't have the knowledge, skills to do what needs to be done. And I try to do it. Even though the work looks like Sattvic, that becomes tamasic work. It is sattvic work for the person who has the ability to do it. So one is not my duty. It is not assigned to me. I'm forcing myself to do it. Okay. So second, on top of it, I don't have the ability to do it. So first develop the ability. So make yourself eligible. Make yourself fit to do it. Then yes, it doesn't matter what your birth is. It really doesn't matter. But we need to be eligible to do the work. It applies to even our corporate world also, right? People, just because some position is, looks really powerful and, it gives a lot of benefits and everything, everybody respects that position. They don't give that position to anybody just like that. We need to have the ability, skills to perform that work. Otherwise, it will become miserable. So that is how we see immediately, like in corporate world, if I want to suddenly become a doctor, right? Because doctor, is so great, is almost equivalent to Narayana. So what is more, what is better than becoming a doctor? So I just immediately say, okay, let me do the work. I'll go and open a, shop and make myself a doctor and then start prescribing medicines. What happens? Right. So, yeah, we need to have the skills. Yes. So we talked about Sattvic worker, now Rajasic worker. Okay. Listen. Ragi karma phala prepsuhu
Agi karma phala prepsuhu
lubdho himsatmako suchihi
Ubdho himsatmako shuchihi
harsha shokanvita karta
Harsha
Shokanvitah karta
Rajasah parikirtitah.
Rajasah parikirtitah
Let's chant together.
Ragi
Ragi
Karma
karma phala
prepsuhu
Lubdho
himsatmako
shuchihi
shuchihi
Harsha
Harsha
shokan
shokanvitah karta
karta
Rajasah parikirtitah.
Okay. So the worker, karta, rajasaha parikirtitaha, is declared as rajasic when ragi. Ragi is one who is attached, one who is attracted towards the prospect of getting the results. Okay, I like the results, so I'm attracted towards the results. So that's why I'm doing the work. One who is ambitious, one who is eager to acquire materialistic benefits, fame, power, right? So that is what is motivating me. I'm attracted towards it. So I become ragi. That's why I'm doing the work. Karma phala prepsuhu, one who is desiring the fruits of the work. Right? I have a desire to become. I have a desire to get this money. I have a desire for houses, enjoyment, all that. Lubdhaha, one who is unwilling to spend money needed for work. Greedy, one who is unwilling to spend money. Okay. The purpose of money is to spend for good causes, but unwilling to spend money for any good cause is Rajasic. Himsatmakaha, one who is hurtful, cruel, violent, one who is gets work done by hurting others. Okay, so it's okay to hurt others as long as I get the work done. That is Rajasic. Asuchihi, one who is impure. Okay, lacks purity in doing the work, whatever is the work. So, I mean, few examples could be like not having the abilities is one, or not keeping ourselves fit to do that work. So, for example, a doctor, does not care about the cleanliness, right? Or a priest who does not care about maintaining the decorum, right? Or not practicing the purity, the principles that need to be practiced in order to perform a activity. And that is Asochihi. Harsha Soka Anvitaha. Harsha Soka Anvitaha. Harsha is success. Harsha is joy. Soka is sorrow. One who is filled with joy and sorrow. That means you are affected by the success or failure. So when success comes, we are happy. Failure comes, we are sad. So one who is affected by the results of the work is Rajasic. Such a person, such a worker, okay, is Rajasic. Got it? So one who is attached to the work, thinking that this is my work, one who is attracted towards the prospect of getting the results, one who is eager to acquire fame, money, power, and performs the actions expecting the results, desiring the fruits of the work, thinks that results belong to oneself, wants to enjoy the results as their own. Like, I got it, this is my result, I need to enjoy it, right? I earned it with my own hard work. Greedy, unwilling to spend money for good causes. Cruel, willing to hurt others to get the work done. Impure, unholy, needed, lacking purity needed for a work, given work, and one who is affected by the results of the actions. They feel happy when they get success, whatever is the expected result they get, they're happy. If they don't get the expected result, they're sad. They go between sad and happiness, sad and happiness, like that. And mostly it is tending towards sadness only, never happiness, because most of the times we learned this in the first two sessions of Bhagavad Gita. It's always unhappiness that remains. Sadness, happiness will never remain with us. So at the end of the day, we are always unhappy. Okay. We'll move on to the next 28th sloka. Very slow. Okay. Please chant. Ayuktah prakrutasthabdhah.
Ayuktah prakrutasthabdhah.
Satho naishkrutiko alasaha.
Shatho naishkritiko lasaha.
Vishadi dirghasutri cha.
Vishadi dirghasutri cha.
Karta tamasa uchyate.
Karta tamasa uchyate.
Let's chant together.
Ayukta
Ayukta
Shato Naishkritiko Lasana Vishadi Dirgha Sutri
Ayuktaha, one who is unqualified, incompetent. Okay, it's very close to, I mean, whatever we have seen, the work, the work when it is done by an unqualified person is called tamasic, and the worker who is unqualified is called tamasic worker. Okay, unqualified, incompetent person is tamasic. Prakritaha, one who is uneducated, unwise, vulgar. Right? Not maintaining the decorum that is needed for that position. Like someone who is a president behaves like somebody who is on the road, just a janitor. Talking like that is tamasic. I'm giving that example, and probably people who know what's happening will know what it is related to. Stabdaha, one who is inert, indifferent, stubborn, not inclined to do the work. Stabdaha, just like a sloth or something, that's an example, right? No, don't want to do any work, basically. Even though it is their duty, they're not doing it. Why should I do it? Sataha, one who is perverted, evil, sinful, immoral. Okay, we can see clear examples. Naikritikaha, one who is dishonest, deceitful, one who is insulting. Alasaha, one who is lethargic, dull, lazy, negligent, careless, slow. Alasaha and stabdaha is, a little bit close, right? So inert, indifferent is, it really, positive or negative result really doesn't affect me. So I don't want to do the work. Or one is stubborn, like somehow I don't want to do the work, like based on whatever ignorance they get, right? The stubborn, they are ignorant. Alasaha is, they know that they need to do the work, but they're lazy, right? One is lazy in doing the work, other one is like, don't do the work because it doesn't really matter for them, right? Vishadi is one who is habitually dejected, helpless, gloomy, moody. See, once in a while, somebody getting affected, because we are all human beings. So once in a while, getting affected by whatever is the result that we get. Maybe physical hurt, we cannot avoid it. We become, maybe unhappy time to time, or maybe some mental agony, something happens. We are unhappy, no problem, that's fine. But some people are habitually, like, they're always unhappy, they're always gloomy, they're always sorrow, moody. Okay. Duryodhana may fall under this category also, right? He always thought his Pandavas are given given everything, and he is denied. denied the position. So he always thought that he's what is that? He's being discriminated. He's always in that mode. Never. So that's moodiness, discrimination, feeling, sorrow, anger that comes out of it, right? Dirgha Sutri, one who is harboring deep and long vengeance. Again, Duryodhana, also Dhritarashtra as well. So one who is thinking for a long time about hurting others. Dirgha Sutri, Duryodhana planned Pandavas to be eliminated. Okay, for how long they have been thinking about it? So many years, right? Not satisfied at all with any, poor Pandavas had to suffer so much in the forest. He wasn't happy. For a long, long time, he wanted to make them, he wanted to hurt them. He developed that hatred. Okay, so such worker is called tamasic. Shall we revise? So unqualified, unfit, incompetent, lack of ability, unrefined, uneducated, unwise, vulgar, inert, indifferent, stubborn, wicked, perverted, evil, sinful, immoral, dishonest, deceitful, insulting, lethargic, lazy, negligent, careless, slow, habitually dejected, sorrowful, moody, thinking that something bad may occur. I didn't mention this before. Like they are habitually dejected because thinking that something bad may occur in future, even though it may not. And having deep hatred and vengeance against others for a long time. These are all the characteristics of a tamasic worker. Okay. Any questions?
Professor, basically, a lot of times, knowingly or unknowingly or out of compulsion or necessity, we overuse our body.
Mm-hmm.
So that also comes under Bhagavan, said himself that it's like torturing him only who is inside.
Yeah. Why do we overuse our body? Is a question that we need to think, right? Am I overusing the body because I am, thinking that my work, my hard work will give me the result that is going to be beneficial for me to enjoy, right? Or I'm overworking, probably not having much rest, but it is a service to God, right? So again, a person who is overworking can be happy and healthy compared to a person who is not even working, may get into a lot of like health problems. Okay, the attitude, like if I have the attitude of serving and not being affected by the results of my actions, I'm always in the stable state, the yoga state, right? Samatvam yoga uchyate, right? So I am in that samatvam state. So that keeps my body healthy, even though I may be overexerting myself. Again, beyond a point, if it is not in our capability, nobody can, like I cannot, even if I think I want to lift 1000 kgs, I cannot do it, right? So a person who may appear who is overexerting themselves, okay, to the extent that is possible for them, it could be fine if they are falling under the Sattvic category. They have the competence to do it. They have samatva buddhi. They are doing the work as phalasanga kartrutva tyaga, right? So a service to God. So then they are fine. Okay. But if they are having no competence, so because of that, they have to work hard, or they have the focus on the results, and the results may seem to be slipping, or they have some greediness, right? They have attachment to the work. They're attached to my work. I have to do it. I get enjoyment for doing it. I get the result that is enjoyable for me. Rajasic will get into trouble, and tamasic also get into trouble, right? So yeah, overexertion is not a criteria directly, which is rajasic or tamasic. Overexertion is dependent on the person. To the person, it may not be. A person who can lift 100 kgs can easily lift 100 kgs without breaking their bones. But if somebody doesn't have that capability, try to lift it, they may break their bones, right? So we cannot categorize just by looking at a person lifting, the person's exertion as Rajasic. Rajasic or even Tamasic. What was your question, Andy? I mean, is that your question?
Yeah, correct. And in general, the worldly nature is, people work for, promotions and always, with greed and all that. Some people, like you said, they may work hard because it's their duty to support the family and grow and that kind of thing.
Again, so it is a duty to support the family as long as it is to the extent that is needed, no problem. But beyond that, then again, is it motivated by the, I want to earn more money so that I can save money for my future generations and all that. That is tending towards Rajasic and Tamasic. But whatever is the value that we need to give to the kids, whatever is the needed money that we need to have in order to support the family and be a good citizen of this country or world, that much is definitely should be earned, should be spent. Not a problem. And if we need to work hard for that, depending on the situation nowadays, it's difficult to get a job or to keep a job, right? And for that, we need to work hard. Unfortunately, we have to do that.
Got it.
Also, having a goal of promotion, I don't see anything wrong with it. I think having that goal.
Right. Yeah, it is not a problem. So, goal of promotion is a goal, right? You're working hard with 100% effort, right? You're putting all your effort. And the positive result is promotion. So yeah, it's a goal, not a desire to get a particular result. So if I'm working hard, expecting that at the end of this project I'm going to get the promotion, that is Rajasic. And if I get it, I'm becoming happy. If I don't get it, becoming sad is Rajasic. But if I get it, the goal is satisfied. I mean, the goal is reached. Then I don't see that I worked hard, that's why I got it. I associate that with the blessings of Paramatma and I can enjoy.
Yeah.
So not having a goal of the duty, So that's why we divided between goals and desires. So it's our duty to work, and the result of that is a promotion. It's a goal, no problem. But if I have a desire to spend, time in a 5-star hotel and enjoy and all that, that is not I'm calling it as a goal. That's not correct. And getting a promotion, I want to get a promotion because I'll go get more money and enjoy. That's again tending towards Rajasic. Because what happens is if I don't get the goal satisfied, then I'll be unhappy.
I'll be unhappy. Then I won't do the work next time properly. I mean, yeah, pretty much.
So my goal, I'm calling it as a goal, but it actually tends towards a desire because that goal is linked to the desire. I want to buy a nice house, right? Enjoy the house, 5-bedroom house. So, and a couple of cars and all that, and enjoy, every 6 months I need to go for vacation, thousands of dollars. I need to spend. That's why I need more money. So I need to get a promotion. So my goal is to get promotion, or the promotion is to have power in the company. More, enjoy that fame and power. So in the company, then again it's Rajasic. We're 7 minutes over. Thank you so much. So we learned just a quick thing. So we learned about Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic categorization of Shraddha, that is worship, food, yajna, tapas, dana, tyaga or sannyasa, synonymous. Knowledge behind the work itself, and the worker so far.
Worker.
Okay. So we need to fall under the Sattvic category of each one of them. And we are going to learn more about Buddhi and Dhruti in future. Okay. We'll conclude with the concluding prayer. Kai vacha manasendriya vabudha prakte svabhavat karo yat sakalam parasmai samarpayami Srimannarayana samarpayami sarvam Krishnaarpanastu. Om Asmakkurubhyo Namah.
Jai
Jai
Shri
Jai
Narayana.
Sri
Yes, Shri. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Jai Sri Narayana.
Jai Shri